We'll never get to see her again.
Don't ever forget her.
Mama, to you, my number one daughter and fan, I love you.
Ramsey County Dispatch.
Hey, so with Upper River Services here in St. Paul.
Okay.
I'm fairly confident I have a dead body stuck under my wharf barge down here.
That chilling call echoed the horrific end of Kira, who was 30 years old. She was a radiant manager, bringing bright optimism everywhere. But beneath her seemingly perfect marriage lay a twisted nightmare.
And I said, yeah, what's up? Kira's missing.
When her white vehicle was discovered abandoned, pure panic set in.
It appeared to be blood on the outside of the car. Not a lot of blood, but just some smudges.
Investigators stepped into a sinister puzzle, tracking digital breadcrumbs and a massive cleanup.
I'm going to use my right to remain silent until I can speak to my attorney.
This sparked a frantic chase for justice. Kira Steger was a confident and driven woman who was 30 years old. She worked as a manager at a clothing store and brought bright optimism to everyone she met. Her friends and coworkers adored her.
Kira was just very self-motivated. She loved her job. She really took a lot of pride in it.
A lot of the people enjoyed coming to work and working with her. She would always somehow find a way to say the perfect thing to help make you feel better.
She had a rare talent for recognizing strengths in others, qualities they often overlooked in themselves. Full of ambition, Kira envisioned a bright future. She was known for her strict discipline and punctuality. She was never one to be late for work. On the evening of Thursday, February 21st, 2013, things seemed entirely normal. Kira finished her shift and told her friend Jasmine about her plans. She was looking forward to a romantic date night with her husband, Jeffrey Trevino. They planned to spend the evening at the Mall of America. To those on the outside, they appeared to be a happy and strong couple.
They would spend time watching movies together, going to the mall, maybe having a couple of drinks, talking. She seemed to be happy with where she was at the time, so I was happy for her.
They seemed to have a perfect facade. However, that facade began to crack 2 days later. On Saturday morning, Kira did not show up for her shift. Her colleagues became instantly alarmed. This was entirely unlike her usual behavior. Concerned, Jasmine repeatedly tried calling her phone, but it remained completely silent. Eventually, Jasmine managed to reach Kira's husband, Jeff. He picked up the call, but his voice was chillingly calm. He claimed to have absolutely no idea at all where his missing wife was. He casually stated that she had left home early the previous morning and never returned. Even more disturbing was his explanation. Jeff did not appear particularly worried or upset. He told everyone that Kira occasionally went off the radar for a day or two, sometimes staying with friends without prior notice.
You know how many Friday nights she hasn't showed up? I've been, I don't know how many times. And then didn't hear nothing Saturday morning, figured she's going straight to work. I've always trusted Kira. For the last 2 months, she's either here or she's not. And I've grown concerned.
This claim was a massive contradiction to the responsible, punctual woman her friends knew. Instead of panicking, Jeff blamed the frigid night weather, guessing she might have run into trouble on the snowy roads with a dead phone battery. Only after time passed with no sign of her did he finally file a police report.
Kira's missing. He goes, she didn't come home. I filled out a missing persons report. It's beyond worry. There's nothing that prepares you for that in any way.
His detached demeanor sent immediate red flags to her family and friends. The story simply did not add up at all. People started to ask questions about his bizarre behavior, wondering if this loving husband was hiding something much more sinister. The investigation quickly intensified as detectives peeled back the layers of Kira and Jeff's marriage. What they found shattered the perfect facade. The marriage was crumbling. Kira was actively going through proceedings to get a divorce and had secretly started seeing another man, Ryan Wendt. Detectives knew they had to follow this trail immediately. They tracked Ryan down while he was out of state, driving through a heavy snowstorm on his way to Colorado.
This was a pretty important person of interest. This is someone that was romantically involved with Kira, that had left the state around the time that she disappeared.
They called him in for questioning, and he agreed without hesitation. When asked about their relationship, Ryan was open.
When did you first meet Kira? Sometime in November, probably. I was looking for a new store manager. We talked off and on.
Did you develop like a personal relationship?
Yeah, I would say I did, yep. Under the impression that she was going through proceedings to get the divorce. The last time I saw her was the Sunday prior to her disappearance.
But the most chilling discovery came when detectives looked at the phone records.
Do you have your record of text messages with her on your phone?
Yeah.
The data revealed a tense timeline. Kira had been continuously sending text messages to Ryan during her romantic dinner date with her husband at the mall. The messages did not stop there. She kept texting her boyfriend even after she and Jeff returned to their house. The digital footprints painted a clear picture of a woman pulling away, constantly communicating with another man while sitting right next to her husband during a supposedly romantic evening together. Then, without any warning, a sudden and incredibly ominous silence fell. The timestamps showed that at exactly 11:44 in the evening, the messages abruptly stopped. Complete silence followed. Naturally, investigators looked closely at Ryan. Could his sudden and unexpected trip out of state actually be a clever cover for something much darker and more sinister? They rigorously analyzed his phone records using cell tower data and reviewed his credit card transactions. The evidence was irrefutable. The results confirmed that he had indeed been in Colorado that evening, making it impossible for him to be involved in Kira's disappearance. With a rock-solid alibi firmly established, the detectives officially ruled him out as a viable suspect and immediately released him without further questions. What struck me the most was how cold and calculated the actual killer had to be to let investigators chase this false lead while the truth lay hidden back home. It takes a truly sinister mind to sit and watch the police track down a boyfriend, knowing exactly what really happened that cold winter night. Drop your take in the comments. Am I missing something? Or does the husband's calm reaction already seem like a huge red flag? Early that morning, luck finally shifted in favor of the Bloomington Police Department. The massive Mall of America has huge parking ramps, and a visitor noticed a white vehicle that had been sitting in the exact same spot for an unusually long period. Finding it highly suspicious, they called for a tow truck. When the driver arrived and began inspecting the vehicle, he saw something deeply disturbing. He immediately contacted the local authorities. When officers arrived at the concrete parking lot, they confirmed the vehicle belonged to Kira Steger.
It appeared to be blood on the outside of the car. Not a lot of blood, but just some smudges.
A brief search of the surrounding area led to an even more gruesome discovery.
Behind the car was this grass area that just sort of went downhill. Laying in the grass was this piece of material.
It turned out to be a trunk liner, and on the underside there were traces of a red liquid. Forensic testing quickly confirmed everyone's absolute worst fear. The red liquid was Kira Steger's blood. In an instant, the grim discovery completely changed the investigation. This was no longer just a simple missing person case. The shocked local authorities were now suddenly dealing with a dark, mysterious homicide. Desperate for any lead, detectives circled back to the house to interview the neighbor, Matt Roth, who lived down in the basement apartment. They needed to know if he had heard any strange noises, any arguments, or any signs of a struggle between Thursday night and Friday morning.
Basically, what I do is just go through kind of the last couple days with you and...
Yeah.
Okay, so then Thursday, where were Jack and Kira?
I spent most of the night on the computer. I know at one point I came up and saw him. I would probably ballpark it around 9, 10-ish, somewhere in that vicinity.
Okay.
When I came up, they were watching a movie.
Matt explained that he saw Jeff and Kira that evening, but did not want to disturb their date night. He returned to his basement apartment, laid down on his bed, and slept peacefully through the entire night. He firmly insisted that he heard absolutely nothing unusual at all. There was absolutely no loud yelling, no heavy thuds, and no frantic footsteps running around. Matt's account aligned perfectly with Jeff's initial story. By confirming they were just having a quiet movie night, Matt unintentionally provided Jeff with a completely solid, completely fake alibi. The silent basement masked the brutal reality of what really happened directly above him. The police now had a bloody car, a ruined trunk liner, and a missing woman, but the husband's story still somehow appeared flawless. The scattered puzzle pieces were incredibly frustrating for the tireless investigators working around the clock, and the true horror remained hidden in the shadows. The nightmare was only just beginning. The tireless detectives plunged into hundreds of hours of grainy surveillance footage, desperately searching for any hidden digital breadcrumbs that could reveal the dark truth. They needed to know when she left.
We want to know, when did she leave? Because that's the next time we'll potentially be seeing her alive.
A neighbor across the street had a panning camera that provided a chilling timeline of that Friday morning. At around 2 o'clock in the morning, a massive breakthrough emerged from the blinding snow. A car appeared on the dark footage, moving in a very strange and erratic way. It was reversing, trying to get as close to the house as physically possible under the cover of night. Hours later, at 8 o'clock in the morning, investigators discovered a crucial receipt. The husband had visited a local gas station to fill up his car and withdraw cash. The video quality was excellent. His face was easy to identify, and it was clear what he was wearing. He had on the same sweatshirt with a large pattern on the chest. Then, at 9:21 in the morning, the neighbor's camera caught the white vehicle finally driving away from the house, though the thick snow made it impossible to see who was actually behind the steering wheel. The timeline accelerated. At 9:45 in the morning, cameras caught the white vehicle entering the mall parking lot. A man quickly walked away from the abandoned car and headed straight toward the taxi stand. He briefly spoke with one driver before getting into another taxi and leaving. The authorities immediately tracked the cab company's global positioning system. They tracked it not to their block, but the next block over. At 10:40 in the morning, the neighbor's camera captured a taxi driving past the house. Moments later, a mysterious ghost-like figure wearing a thick dark hood walked into the camera frame carrying nothing at all. The person had exited the cab just a few streets away and was walking directly toward the front door of the house. The footage was grainy, but one striking detail completely broke the case wide open. The figure was wearing the exact same distinct patterned hoodie seen at the gas station just hours earlier. This time standing right at the front door. Now the stunned investigators had two incredibly critical questions. Who was this person, and why did he put her vehicle with blood at the mall? The cold killer literally paid a stranger to safely drive him far away from his horrific deed. Does this make your blood boil too? The sheer audacity to take a cab back to his own crime scene! Armed with undeniable video evidence, investigators finally secured a legal search warrant for the residence. From the outside, and even at first glance inside, the home appeared completely normal. It looked exactly like a quiet, peaceful sanctuary. There were absolutely no obvious visual signs of a brutal physical struggle anywhere to be seen. But the highly trained forensic experts knew exactly how to uncover the hidden truth lurking there. They carefully sprayed a special chemical called luminol across the floors to reveal any faint invisible traces of a violent crime. The results were absolutely horrifying and deeply disturbing. The entire carpet suddenly lit up, glowing brightly in the dark. Massive spots of blood were illuminated everywhere. The glowing stains stretched across the master bedroom, spilled down the narrow hallway, covered the wooden stairs, and even reached deep into the kitchen. The physical evidence clearly told a gruesome story. Detectives quickly discovered a carpet cleaning machine stashed nearby. The ruthless killer had spent his entire day scrubbing, vacuuming, and desperately trying to wash away the horrific reality of what he had done. He worked relentlessly to completely erase her existence. I gotta be honest with you, seeing how meticulously he cleaned that house while pretending to be a worried husband makes my stomach turn. With the glowing evidence of a violent struggle officially documented, police officers immediately brought Jeff into the local station for formal questioning. They placed him inside a cold interrogation room, hoping he would finally crack under the heavy pressure. Instead, he remained remarkably calm and completely emotionless. When the dedicated detectives pressed him for truthful answers about his missing wife, his reaction was chillingly brief and incredibly frustrating for everyone involved in the ongoing investigation. "I am going to use my right to remain silent," he coldly stated directly to them. He fiercely refused to cooperate, offering absolutely no logical explanations, making no sincere apologies, and showing absolutely no genuine tears for the beautiful woman he supposedly loved deeply. The intense interrogation quickly hit a massive solid brick wall. For the deeply frustrated prosecutors, this horrible situation presented a colossal challenge moving forward. They had bright glowing stains spread across a floor and a highly suspicious husband, but they still did not have a single confession from him. Most importantly, they sadly still did not have a physical body. Proving a severe murder charge entirely without locating a physical victim is an incredibly difficult legal hurdle to overcome inside any courtroom. The determined authorities fully knew he was truly guilty, but proving it definitively to a jury beyond a reasonable doubt seemed almost entirely impossible for them right then. No one could have predicted what happened next. For more than 2 long months, her desperate family waited in agonizing pain, praying for her safe return. Any remaining hope slowly faded into pure darkness. Then, in May of 2013,
Ramsey County Dispatch.
Hey, so with Upper River Services here in St. Paul,
Okay.
I'm fairly confident I have a dead body stuck under my wharf barge down here.
the chilling emergency call from the harbor finally broke the horrible silence. A worker found a dead body trapped under a heavy barge in the deep, murky waters of the Mississippi River. Using dental records, the authorities officially identified the tragic remains. Kira had been put in the river without any clothes. The official autopsy results finally unveiled the brutal truth of her final moments. The medical examiner found a severe wound on her forehead, but the most heartbreaking detail of all was discovered on her right hand. Her pointer finger had been snapped, and it was a fresh break. There was no healing. This grim physical evidence clearly indicated that the terrible injury happened right before she died. Using these incredibly disturbing facts, detectives reconstructed the terrifying nightmare that unfolded inside that house. That evening, as Kira continuously texted her boyfriend, Jeff closely watched her every move. His dark jealousy quickly boiled over into pure, uncontrollable rage. When she bravely refused to hand over her private messages, he completely lost control of his mind. He brutally grabbed her delicate arm and forcefully snapped her finger, just to rip the phone away from her tight grip. As she cried out in sudden agony, he viciously struck her head with a heavy glass, causing the deep wound on her forehead. Then, as she lay there bleeding and completely helpless, the man she trusted coldly used a pillow to suffocate Kira, cutting off her air supply forever. He wiped away all the evidence and pretended to be the perfect, caring husband looking for his deeply cherished wife. The sheer cruelty did not stop there. After stealing her bright life, he callously stripped her bare and carried her body into the freezing winter night. He coldly dumped the beautiful woman he had promised to love into a dark, icy river like she meant absolutely nothing at all. He threw away a radiant daughter, a beloved friend, and a hardworking, loyal manager without a single ounce of genuine mercy. This horrific crime left an entire community completely shattered and begging for answers. The monstrous reality of his twisted actions tore her loving family apart, leaving them with a permanent, agonizing void that could never truly be filled by anything else in this world. They tragically lost absolutely everything because of his extreme greed and his blind, incredibly violent anger. I am curious, how would you feel if this happened to someone you love? The level of betrayal here is just devastating. The highly anticipated murder trial finally commenced late in the winter of the year 2013. Despite Jeff maintaining a stubbornly cold and arrogant silence throughout the entire legal proceedings, the diligent prosecutors came to the courtroom completely prepared. The massive, undeniable network of circumstantial evidence they meticulously built over time was absolutely unbreakable. The brilliant, undeniable combination of advanced forensic science, glowing blood stains on the carpet, extensive cell phone records, accurate global positioning system tracking data, and chilling security camera footage painted an incredibly clear and devastating picture of his undeniable guilt. After listening to the harrowing timeline of events, the jury deliberated carefully for 17 intense hours. They finally returned to the courtroom with a definitive, unanimous verdict, officially finding Jeff totally guilty of second-degree murder. But the absolute ultimate pinnacle of true justice finally arrived during the official sentencing hearing today. The presiding judge completely refused to ever apply the standard, lenient prison term for the convicted killer. Instead, clearly recognizing the unimaginable, cold-blooded cruelty of his selfish actions, the angry judge firmly handed down a severe aggravated sentence. He ordered Jeff to serve a maximum penalty of 330 months, which directly equals 27.5 years trapped behind cold iron bars. The court specifically noted his inhuman callousness in carefully hiding her battered body inside the freezing river, a wicked act which deliberately inflicted extreme, agonizing emotional distress and pure anguish upon her deeply grieving family members. In a very deeply emotional and heartbreaking moment outside the busy courtroom, Kira's heartbroken father bravely addressed the supportive crowd. Tears welled in his tired eyes as he spoke softly about their permanent, devastating loss. "We will never get our daughter back, but at least justice has been served." His powerful words resonated deeply with everyone who had followed the incredibly tragic case, providing a small glimmer of light after experiencing such profound, heavy darkness. Kira will always be warmly remembered by those who truly loved her as a remarkably kind and exceptionally bright person who brought pure joy and beautiful optimism to absolutely everyone around her. She was a deeply cherished daughter, a fiercely loyal friend, and a truly wonderful soul taken far too soon by a selfish, pathetic coward. Finally, after months of agonizing pain and searching, justice was served, and the family could begin to heal. The monster who tried to clean away her existence was locked in a cage. What do you guys think? Does this ending bring you any sense of relief? I'll keep digging if there's more to uncover. Thanks for watching and for all the comments. You guys make this worth it.